Hello everybody, Prow here, and today I want to go over with you how to get good with any hero. There's a process that I think you should follow, and this is just my personal opinion. You may have some cool tips and tricks to add. If you do, throw them down in the comment section below. But these are just some things that I have found that work for me and that I think make sense for pretty much anybody to be able to follow to pick any hero in the game and get good with them. Is it going to make you the best top 500 player with any class? No, it's not, but it's going to get you a good level of workable understanding. I'm going to have some tips and tricks in here that you maybe haven't thought of or don't know about. And it'll get you to a point where you can play any character good or any hero good, and you can then take things further and following more specific videos on a particular hero that you're trying to get really good with. All right, so again, I'm going to walk you through the process that I like to follow here, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible, but also I'm going to show you a few things that you might not be doing right now to help you get better with these heroes that I think you're going to be able to pull something away from this with. So to start things out, the easy and obvious answer that maybe not everybody does is just start out on the heroes page. So regardless of what hero you're trying to use, find that particular hero here and then take a look at them, click on them. And then you're going to want to go specifically to their abilities section, and you can click on any of their abilities here, and it will show you what that ability does and how to use it. So is this going to show you the best way to use any particular ability? No, but it gets you that very entry level understanding of what all of the abilities are and a visual of what that ability looks like. We're going to take that basic knowledge from here, and we're going to take it to the practice range. Your practice range is located right here. Just go ahead and click the practice button on the play screen. And then you're going to want to load up the normal practice range. Select your hero you want to learn. We're going to go with Squirrel Girl. And here you are in the game. On PC, you can go ahead and hit the F1 button. Hold that down, and that will show you all of your abilities, the same ones that we just saw, to give you that quick reference. I don't know what the button is on console, but there is a way on console to pull this up as well. And this will tell you what each ability will do. And here's where you're going to want to do a little bit of testing. First thing you should do, though, get familiar with your practice range. You have some moving targets, some targets that are shooting each other or not shooting each other, friendly and non-friendly. You have another moving target right here. And you have a range target area here, more moving targets here, there, a flying one, and even a heavier target up here. So you're going to want to do this same process through all of your abilities just to kind of see what they do. We'll start out with our basic attack and just kind of look and see how it works, right? With Squirrel Girl, she shoots these acorns like so. We do have a certain number of them before we have to reload. So you can sit here and fire those off, see how many shots, what it feels like to get all those shots off and see how long the reload takes. And then more importantly, kind of see how they work. Squirrel Girl's a little unique, right? She can actually bounce these off of things. If you bounce it off the ground, it has different effects depending on what your angle is. You can also bounce off of walls into areas. I might also look at things like how effective is this at range? Does it do the same damage if I directly hit an enemy? Does it do different damage if I hit them in the head like it did that guy versus a body shot here? In this case, I can tell it doesn't. And then I can even try to see what the explosion range of it is and what kind of damage it does here. I want to know everything I can about this primary weapon and how it works. So if I shoot this and land beside him, it does that much damage. If I shoot this target directly, it does more. So I know a direct hit is more important than an indirect hit. What about hitting a target at range? Does this thing have any kind of a range drop off? If I get way back here and hit the target, it does the same amount of damage than if I'm close. So the range with Squirrel Girl, I know, doesn't matter. I may also want to know how large is the explosion radius of this. I'm just trying to get a good angle on it. You can kind of visually see it's not very big. It's not huge, but I see shooting it right here, it is able to hit this guy. So it does have an explosion radius to it. And I can even use it to hit multiple enemies at a time if I want to. Just like this. I do less damage if I hit them indirectly, but I'm more guaranteed a hit like that than if I try to directly hit and I miss, right? I'm gonna want to do this with all of the characters' abilities. So I'll look here and I'll look through each one of them and I will try them out. I can see that for me, my mouse 5 button makes me do the jump here. I can see that this button right here throws the right click throws a little root thing, and my six mouse button, which I have routed to the like comma or whatever apostrophe key, it does something totally different. For her, reload burst acorns and can use an ability without cooldown once in a short duration. So what that means is I can shoot all of my acorns out, and instead of having to go through the reload animation, I can hit that button and then I instantly get a reload. It also gives me an instant reload for my one of my other cooldown abilities too, which is really nice. If you ever want to practice with these abilities anymore, you can turn the no ability cooldown option on, and it gets rid of your cooldowns so you can practice with them more. You can also practice with your ultimate here as well, just to kind of see how to use it and what it looks like when you do use it. If you ever want to get another ultimate skill available and not have to wait, just go walk over the ultimate charge thing and you can instantly get your ultimate charged back up. All of these things will help you figure out things about your character. Do you have to lead your opponent, or do you have a hit scan weapon that instantly hits them? Hers, you have to lead them because there's a little bit of a delay, travel time to the acorn. Other characters don't have that. So that is something that you need to know. You need to know if you're single target, area damage, or piercing damage. You can learn how hard it is to hit flying targets like this. You can learn a lot of things about the character just by popping into the practice range and playing around a little bit. Also, this is going to help you learn their effective range. This is something you want to pay attention to through this whole process. What is this character's effective range? Meaning, are they really good at close combat, mid-range combat, or far away combat? Because ideally, when you play that character, your default position and your most comfortable position is to fight in your effective range and to hopefully get other heroes outside of their effective range. For Squirrel Girl, her effective range is actually kind of far away because her acorns do max damage at range, and she's pretty good at mid-range too. Mid-range is going to help you ensure a hit a little bit more frequently because you don't have to lead the target as much. Close range is probably not as good for her because she gets no real benefit out of it in terms of damage or anything like that, and it puts her in harm's way. After doing that, you're going to want to leave the practice arena and you're going to want to do a couple quick match games. Quick match games are not ranked. They don't really matter. They're really there for you to just play around and have fun, or in our case, try out a new hero that we're not comfortable with. I recommend spend a few rounds in quick match. It's just going to give you that familiarity with hitting the right buttons for the right abilities in a live environment, in a live situation. And it's going to help you get a little bit of understanding of your particular character's strengths and weaknesses. It's not going to reflect what you're going to experience when you play in ranked, especially in higher ranks, because ranked play is way different, but it gives you that basic understanding. Doing 1, 2, or 3 rounds here can help out a lot. And that understanding is going to help a whole bunch, because the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go and find a top ranked player that plays the character that you're wanting to play. Now, if there's a particular streamer or somebody that you just know, or an opponent that you go up against that has played that hero, you can go to the friends section here and you can search their player name and pull them up and watch what they do. Or if you don't have somebody in particular in mind, if you click on your profile image on the top right here and go to leaderboard, you can actually see all of the top 500 players listed here. Now, if they're in the top 500, it doesn't really matter where the top 500 they are. For you trying to learn a new character, watching one is probably going to be just as good as watching the other. And watching the highest ranked people is really only going to matter the most when you're already good with a class and you're trying to learn some new tips or tricks to go from really good to the best. Okay. Now, to watch anybody on the list, you right click on them, and if they have the ability to do so, you'll have the ability to either spectate them or view their career. If you click view career, this player, the #1 guy, has limited access. I can't view what he's done. I can click on this person, view career. They allow me to see their overview, their stats, and their game history, their match history, which is quite impressive, actually. And in the stats area, you can see who they play. Now, this part's going to take a little bit of time, but you're going to want to look through all these people, and you're going to want to find somebody that frequently plays the hero that you want to play. And when you find that, you're going to want to go to their history and then find a match where they play that hero. To do that, if you click on a match and hover over their name, so we're looking for the YN name here, right here. They're highlighted actually to make it easier. Hover over their name. You can see who they used that round, whether it was one character, one hero, or whether they switched between multiple heroes. And then you can hit the play button to go through the match. I'm not going to show you the whole replay system. It's pretty easy to figure out, and there might be some tutorials on how to use it online. But you're going to want to go through and just watch how they play. Just kind of take note of what they do. What strategies do they use? When did they use different abilities? How do they engage in a fight? What distance do they engage in fights at? When did they decide to get out of a fight? Look for like those basic things just to give you a general understanding of how a top level player plays that particular hero. You don't have to play exactly like them. In a lot of cases, you might not be capable of it because these guys are at the top for a reason, but it'll give you a general idea of how somebody that knows what they're doing plays that specific hero. At this point, you probably have a decent understanding of the hero, and you're going to be at one or two location like points right now on what you want to do. If you have if you're not very high ranked, I would say like gold or lower, then you will probably be okay to just go ahead and hop in a few competitive matches, play your hero that you want to learn for a couple hours and see how it goes. If at any point you feel like you're really struggling, you're going to want to back out and go to the next step. But if you're doing good, play for a few hours just to kind of get used to things and get an even better understanding of the hero. And if you are higher ranked than gold, you might not want to jump in with a hero you don't know very well into a higher competitive match because you're hurting yourself and your teammates and making it more likely for you guys to lose. Make an alt account where you can play competitive without having to worry about rank too much, because the whole purpose of the second account is to try out new stuff and not to climb rank. Once you've done that, once you've gotten a little bit of playtime in your hero, or if you've reached a point where you're struggling a little bit, jump back into the practice range. And now that you have a better understanding of your hero, pay more attention to combos that you can do and new and creative ways to play your hero. Practice things that you think will help you out a lot. And there's going to be a certain place that's going to be really good to do this. I'm going to pull a hero that I'm familiar with so I can kind of show you. I'm going to take Scarlet Witch here. And specifically here, we're going to take her to a different area. You can do stuff in these areas too if you want to, but I'm going to take her to an area that not everybody even knows is here. But it's just right at the backside of the training area. And this is the like hero training ground. So I'm going to pop into here, pop in some parameters of something that I want to practice. Maybe I want to practice dive killing healers or DPS characters that I come up against. So I'm gonna pick Moon Knight, who's a pretty common target for me, or let's say a healer. Let's say Luna Snow. I'm gonna pick Luna Snow. I'm going to have her appear at random distances in short range, and I want her to move. I don't want her to be static. I want her to be dynamic. I want her to move around. I want her to move around randomly. And we'll just keep her at normal speed. We don't need to like super speed it up. I'm going to turn off the timer too, because I'm going to practice this a lot. And then I'm going to practice this particular situation to try to perfect something that I'm trying to get better at with my hero. Now, I would do this if my situation is I want to get better at killing healers in the back line. So since that's what I'm practicing, what I'll do is I'll pick a particular Luna Snow here that's running around, and I'm going to try to quickly kill her in a situation that's similar to what I may experience in game. So in game, I might come from an off angle, and then I want to take out this Luna Snow. So I might practice some different strategies on trying to pick her out of a group and killing her really quickly. So that can be some type of combo of my abilities, right? And then I'm going to just practice this for a while, right? I may sit here for 10, 15, 20 minutes until I've gotten good enough when I come up against Luna Snow to like take her out really quick with all my abilities, despite like all the crazy movement, and just kind of learn how to track them. Now, you can set this up for all sorts of different situations, and you may want to do that. I might want to set up some flyers to get used to being able to hit them with projectiles or with a different kind of character. I may want to get used to sniping people that are moving around with Hela. You can do pretty much any situation, any scenario you want to do inside of this. And now once I've come back and I've practiced my combos, I've practiced my aim, I've practiced the situations that I feel like I want to get better at, I may take some of those strategies that I'm trying to implement back into quick match for a couple rounds, or I might jump directly back into comp and make those adjustments and continue to kind of do this back and forth to get better. Also, at this point, when you have this really good understanding of your hero, now might be the time to go on YouTube and search for guides for the particular hero that you're trying to play, and to go back into viewing matches of top players, because the more you play the hero you're trying to get good at, the more you're going to understand what strategies are. You're going to recognize what people are doing or what you yourself are doing, and you're going to be able to make adjustments to get better. Also, don't be afraid to go back and be your own worst critic. I had some bad matches when I was playing yesterday. I might want to go back in here, go to my match history, and look at the matches that I've played and watch back and see, like, why did I go 7 and 8 here? Or even though I had 25 kills, I had 18 deaths. Why did I die so much? I might go back in and watch these matches and see, okay, I did this and that put me in danger and made me have a death there. I could have avoided dying and then maybe gotten more kills. Or I may look at this one and see I took the wrong strategy, or I wasn't finishing my kills good or something, right? So you can go through and kind of track how you're doing and be your own worst critic and figure out what you can do to play better. And lastly, don't immediately go to blaming others that you play with. It could be their fault, but whether it's their fault or not, you can only control your gameplay within a match. So reflect back on your gameplay, maybe even after every round. Recognize when you died, think immediately, well, what can I have done to not die there? Or what can I have done to get that kill? Or after a particular match is over, look at the scoreboard and see how you did with damage, with last hits, with kills, with deaths, etc., and kind of give yourself like a grade. And lastly, recognize that high damage numbers or high healing numbers or high final hits or what, like, or your final score is not the end all be all most important thing. They are indicators to show that you played well or didn't play well, but ultimately think back on your match and think, did I make impactful plays? Did I do something that impactfully helped the team? For example, when I'm playing Scarlet Witch, a lot of times I look for priority targets within a fight and try really hard to take out that target to turn a fight. So that might be a tank that's starting to get weak. That might be a healer in the back line. That might be a DPS character that's kind of has free reign on killing the rest of my team. So if I go after those and target those guys, maybe I'm not getting the most amount of kills and the most amount of damage like a Moon Knight player is, for example. If I'm executing my goal of taking out those like crucial players at crucial moments, and then it causes my team to win that overall fight in advance, then I know that I'm doing something good, and being able to recognize that is important. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you found this video useful in some way. If you did, can you let me know down in the comment section below if you liked the video? If you have any other tips or tricks that you like to do to get better with heroes in a general sense, and what type of videos would you like to see coming up? I do plan on doing some basic guides for a lot of different heroes that I've been learning how to play, and then as I learn how to play them more and get better at them, I'll make some more advanced guides. I never claim to be the best player at the game. I'm only ranked gold 2. I don't have a ton of play time in this season because I don't have as much time to play rivals as I would like to yet, but I do feel like strategically I'm pretty good at the game. So hopefully my strategy here helps you out and helps you become a better player. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like this video if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.